What's up, everybody? It's Peaceful and an awesome week with my streamathon. Thank you for everybody who showed up and hung out for a little bit. It was a great time. And I'm gonna have some sweet video content coming out for you this week based on some of the decks and stuff that I found during this streamathon. So the first one I wanted to highlight, and this is mainly just for those of you who are a little bit more into the competitive scene, a little bit more into trying to rank up either in Infinite Ladder or trying to get those Infinite Conquest tickets. I want to give you what I think is currently the best deck in Snap. Before we get into that, you know the deal. If you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below what other decks and stuff you'd like to see. This all really helps me out with the algorithm, helps my video get shown to more people. And, if you're enjoying the content, you don't want to miss that next video coming out. So I really appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into what I think is the best deck in Snap. And here it is, people. It's probably not the answer a lot of you are looking for, but unfortunately, I do think this is what you should be playing if your main goal is just to win. This is a Loki Elsa deck. Just, all the broken season pass cards. Let's put them all together in a deck and see what happens. So this deck plays very similar to other Loki decks you've probably seen. It's just very low to the ground, very low curve. It almost plays like a bounce deck, if that makes sense. You see there's a Falcon in there. I cannot claim credit for the Falcon. There's a couple different tournament decks I saw that were running Falcon, and Lammy himself recommended it when I was talking with him on the Glazers podcast. I'm actually gonna put a link to that so y'all can go watch. So if you want to know where some of the ideas came from, it was from that. And even in there, Lammy specified that wasn't his idea. He just really, really likes it in this deck. And I found it to be very, very good, and we'll kind of get into why here later. But I wanted to just sort of go over very quickly why this deck is so good in the metagame. Right now, I think if you've played recently, the metagame is based around Elsa. It really is. Elsa is the card that's making a lot of decks go. It's, up the power level of a lot of different archetypes like move and stuff like that and taking them from tier 2-ish to tier 1. And this deck just utilizes Elsa as well as anyone. And the big advantage you get is that you have Loki. So when you're playing a mirror match, I'm going to put that in parentheses, mirror match, meaning an Elsa mirror match, you get to play out your Elsa, play Loki, and try and find another Elsa to really get that advantage over your opponent. And you'd be shocked how often this actually comes up. It's pretty disgusting. And having two Elsas is better than one, it's pretty much that simple. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of the key combos of this deck. So first up, you have Kitty plus Elsa. Honestly, Kitty plus Angela. Kitty is the enabler a lot of times for those two cards in particular. Really takes them from a pretty reasonable size threat to just being outlandishly huge for a 2-drop. Kitty is often the key to getting that to happen. Honestly, those cards are fine without Kitty, but they just when you have Kitty with those cards, you have a strong draw. Collector and Loki. I do want to emphasize here you need to know your matchups with this deck. There are times when Loki is your game plan, and there are times when Loki is +5 or +6 on Collector, and that is what Loki is there for, and you want to wait and play it turn 6 or turn 5 preferably, so that you're not, you get more opportunities to play out your cards, because there's just some matchups you don't want their cards. Things like Patriot, where their cards aren't very good. Things like Cerebro 3, where their cards just aren't very good. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. You'll see I'll put here Maria and Snowguard with Falcon. Even honestly Kitty, these are really nice little combos that help you if you do decide to go for the Loki game plan. These help you get extra value early and get a really completely full hand. The difference between like a 4 or 5 card Loki and a 6, 7 card Loki is pretty huge. It just gives you more opportunities at hitting the cards you really want. So just keep this in mind, especially when you have a collector on board, that this can add a ton of surprise power that your opponent's not expecting, but you really want to get the Falcon down, obviously, before turn 6. So just keep that in mind as you're playing this deck. And like I said, Loki, when to play. We kind of covered this already, but just make sure you're thinking about that. Know your matchups and know when you're playing Loki as a buff card for your collector and when you're playing Loki as a main game. All right, next up, let's go over some snapping, what the snapping strategies look like for this deck. First up, obviously, Loki plus Collector is a huge deal. This is something you want to be looking out for. This definitely adds a ton of power to your board and is a hand that is really hard for a lot of decks to beat if they don't have something like Shadow King in their deck. Angela or Elsa and Kitty, we talked about this on the key combos portion. This is a snappable hand. This is a ton of power. You're going to go really tall in a couple of lanes, especially if you get to draw Jeff to get that extra boost on Jeff as well. This can give you a lot of really flexible power. It's like, Jeff plus Elsa is almost just like It's a 6 power. That's like a very close to vision level. That's a huge threat that you get to move around with, and gives your opponent a lot of uncertainty as to where your power is going to be. That's a really good hand to snap. You see Collector and Falcon. Again, similar to Collector Loki, a lot of times this is a really nice game plan because not only do you get the return power of returning Maria and Snowguard to your hand, but then you also get to play those cards again, add more cards to your hand, synergizes with Elsa as well. This is a really strong hand to snap against a lot of different decks. And then, I mean, just early Elsa, when I say that, I mean, if you can stack a lane and start buffing things on turn 3, that's a hand that you want to snap because that's just going to give you a ton of power. You're going to be getting +3 on turns 3, sometimes on turn 4, sometimes twice on turn 5 or 6. That's a huge deal. That makes your Elsa like a 211, a 214 sometimes. That's a ton of power. You should definitely be focusing on snapping early when you have those types of hands. Last up, we're going to go over just a couple replacements. If you weren't able to pick up Mobius, Luke Cage is another really good tech card to be running right now. I will say Mobius is really nice to have in this deck for the mirror. The difference oftentimes in the mirror match is who gets the Mobius down and who doesn't. Because if you have Mobius and they don't, then your Loki gives you a bunch of discounted cards there, gives them the normal cost cards, and it's pretty brutal. So just try and think about that, picking that up if you don't have it. He's definitely worth it. He's only a Series 4, so he's not quite as expensive as some of these other cards that have been releasing. But you can sub in Luke Cage. Luke Cage has a ton of utility. The reason I don't personally like learning Luke Cage is generally in the decks that you want Luke Cage against, they're running it because they're also running Shadow King. So they're protecting their own stuff with their Luke Cage as well. So a lot of times you can just steal it with Loki. But it is definitely a reasonable card to run. I know a lot of people run it over the Falcon, but I think the Falcon's worth running just because I'd rather be the person doing powerful things than the person trying to counter them. Now, for another sub, I know a lot of people still don't have Snow Guard. If you don't have Snow Guard, you can run a different card creation or card generation card like Agent 13 Mirage, something like that. Just know that it will be quite a bit worse. Snow Guard's the best one by far. It's basically in this deck just an Agent Coulson that only costs 1 instead of 3. That's just really, really powerful. So keep that in mind. Plus the auras you get from it, the Hawk and the Bear are actually very, very good in a lot of different situations. So this is a card I recommend picking up if you can. If not, obviously one of these cards will do just fine. Definitely makes it worse. I kind of would recommend Agent 13 over Mirage just for the synergy with Falcon. If you're going to put Mirage in instead, you probably want to replace Falcon with something else as well. That's really it for today, guys. I hope this helps you all learn how to play this deck, helps you get those extra wins in ranked and in conquest. This deck is going to get you there. I actually got 2 infinite tickets the last time I played this deck on stream, just right in a row. Very easy, 6-0 in gold conquest. And I cannot recommend this deck more. Go give it a shot, give it a try, and good luck, everyone. Catch you next time. All right. I'm pretty comfortable making a no, we have Snow Guard. You're really liking Clog at the moment? I really don't like losing to Clog. I think Clog's my least favorite deck to play against, other than that deck we played against twice the other day, the full-on Black Widow discard, make your opponent miserable deck. That was pretty bad. Let's go with this one.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Ooh, Z coming in with the raid. Z, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Z, Queen. Are you excited about your match tomorrow? For the thank you for getting the shout out, Mally. What's up, Wookie? You are so excited for tomorrow? It's gonna be a lot of fun. Jeff and I are very excited. It's gonna be very freaking hype. How do I do this? It's a good time. I want the collector down. So this is a tough turn. I hate not spending all my energy, but whoa. Ooh, Sobak, Wookie and Sobak, thank you for the follows. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Peaceful Sea. They don't have a Mobius, chat. He's also Queen of the Surfer. You can't. No. Z is the Surfer Queen, and everybody knows that. Everyone knows that. All right, we're gonna do this. They're trying to Legion us. Now you just lose. We can actually do this. They tried, chat.
Victory.
How's it going, so? Z, what decks were you playing tonight? That's right. Look, I get it wrong enough that it feels good to get it right. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so we gotta remember Legion, chat. Scarlet Witch. It's not exactly what we were looking for. Ooh. Ooh. Z got you your first season pass? Hell yeah. Uatu bounce. Number one, so that you're the number one surfer and the number one Uatu player? That's incredible. I'm the number one person at getting Subterranea and Eternity Range in the same game. So many rocks. When you are the only one? Easy to be number one when you're the only one. That doesn't look. Don't let that detract from your amazing accomplishment. Give me a better 2-drop game. All right, we should probably snap.
Parker!
Oh man, they got a rock.
Friendly neighborhood
They tried,
Spider-Man
chat,
here.
and they failed. Go like this, and then next turn we Loki. Can they do anything to really mess us up? Benedrix, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Peaceful Sea. I appreciate you. Chat, we're at the tail end. The timer you see is we're at the tail end of my streamathon this week. I've been streaming every single day this week and playing a whole lot of Snap. All right, so we should snap here.
Oh, snap.
Because we're going to get a full hand of good cards, and they're drawing rocks. That's a good one to play Uatu in. How many games has it won you being able to get that super lucky man, they really love their Legion, chat. So as long as one of them goes to the left, we're fine. They didn't even have a freaking what you call it in play for that. It should still, yeah. Well, they didn't really nerf it. It's like a kind of buff. Is this all better? They got Doctor Doom too, right? Goliath. Well, it doesn't matter. We still win the other two. Nice try, though, buddy.
Victory.
Not sure how they thought that was going to win. Hmm. Interesting, chat. Very interesting. Oh, we definitely hold that with Collector in hand. Does not look like they have Mobius and Mobius.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, if they didn't play mid, they also won. Very true. We can draw Falcon. Getting a second Elsa seems worth. Mm-hmm. Wow, these are garbage, actually, just for the record. Does Forge buff all the Mysterio? It doesn't really work out the way I want it to anyway, though. Oh, I won't get one over here anyway. Only one in your experience? Okay. It's good to know. That's not enough. Is it? It's 12? Nope.
Victory.
It's fine. That was still only one cube. Now we're in the high stakes, and we have a pretty substantial lead. So eat it. They have Luke Cage too, so we can very effectively play around Shadow King. Sure. Eat it. Pretty low cost to play this here on this turn. Well, they let me have it, huh? Let's see. It's Loki time? I think so. But like, I don't think we need a giant Loki because they're gonna Shadow King this anyway. Like, I think with the energy advantage, we can just. Man, we missed on the freaking. How do they win all three, chat? Like if we do this. Like if they go 1 mana Shadow King. Is Kingpin in there literally just to stop people from moving Jeff to a certain spot? It sure feels like it. 4, 8, 13. It feels like they put Shadow King here. Yeah. This doesn't win here. It doesn't win here. They lose.
Victory.
It's never going to happen. All right, we'll play Angela over here. Now, we know every card now, because Absorbing Man was the last one we didn't know, right? So it's literally just in there. It's literally just in there. That's crazy. Wild. Well, there'll be no stream tomorrow. I will, Chad, if y'all want to come hang out, especially though coming from Z, y'all will see me tomorrow. I'm gonna be on the. They did play Mobius. Mobius is lethal. Yeah, we should definitely play our Mobius before we go in. They're gonna shadow. That's Shadow King, like 100%. I want to try and steal their Luke Cage. It'll be so yeah. So the next stream will be on Monday, Kenny. I mean, I know they're not discounted, but no. Or so we're gonna have Prio, and Jeff can just. What if we just kill Jeff so we have more room next turn? No one, don't. No one tell him I said that. Shh. Yep. Sure. Didn't accomplish a whole lot. You didn't get it? Are you kidding me? We play the blaming game. It's kind of Mojo World. Just move Jeff right. Yeah. We missed the freaking chat. So annoying. So if that is a Shadow King, 3, 6, 8, what if we just play like something big over here? Just like this. 4, 7, 8, 4, 8, 11. Then they have to play something else to win there. And then we don't play anything else over here because it's like the easiest Shang of their lives. Yeah, exactly. So we just don't play anything else over there. Or we can just play this. If they Shang there and play something else over here, this still loses. So we just do this. Oh yeah, Sunspot, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. We lose there. Win here. Win here. Nice. We only lose 8 power here. Yeah, doesn't matter. Deck is so bad. Imagine playing Sarah when Mobius is literally in like 40% of decks.